Good evening, champions. The new chapter of Hajime no Ippo, number 1498, has just dropped in Japan. And before even diving into the content of this week's chapter, I want to talk about something that's already made waves online, the newly leaked colored spread. It's been split into two sides. On the right side, we have Takeshi Sendo standing tall, wearing his brand new ring attire in full color. Gone are his classic orange and black tones. Now, he's rocking a bold red and black combo. Personally, I absolutely love the redesign. It feels fiercer, more determined, like a final evolution. The background is tinted with a bluish tone, symbolic, perhaps, of the cold tension before a brutal war. There's also a beautiful detail here. Sendo's grandmother and his school teacher appear watching the match from a small television screen at the hospital. But they're not the only ones watching. We also spot Ichiro Miyata, Sendo's former training rival. Then there's Hoshi, his kohai, his junior disciple at the Naniwa Kento gym, and of course Yanaoka, his trusted trainer. Just behind the Hajime no Ippo logo, there's a faint sketch of the Osaka-jo Hall, the real-world stadium where this intense match is taking place. But the real surprise, the one that got everyone talking, is the appearance of none other than Wally. That's right, every single character shown in this spread is watching the fight live. So what does that mean? Is Wally also tuning in from his home in New York, possibly watching alongside his second Miguel Sale? That theory has fans divided. Why? Because we were told a while ago that Wally suffered a permanent eye injury after his own fight, and yet, in this illustration, he looks completely healthy. So the debate begins. Is Wally really going to appear in the manga again? Or is his presence symbolic? After all, he once told Sendo after their match, "From here on out, everything depends on you." It would feel strange if Wally was the only character in this illustration to not show up in the story itself, don't you think? Also, at the bottom of the page, we get a powerful message. Featherweight World Title Match. The Tiger of Naniwa versus the Absolute Champion. Their souls are clashing head-on. That alone gives me chills. Now, switching over to the left side of the spread, we see the reigning king, Ricardo Martinez. He stands in a regal, powerful pose. Elegant, confident, cold, everything we expect from the absolute champion. And looking straight at him is Ippo. Yes, Ippo himself, not standing beside Sendo, but fixed on Ricardo. That detail really caught my attention. Is it just a compositional choice, or is Morikawa sensei dropping a subtle hint? Could this be a sign that Ippo is starting to set his sights on the champion? We all know he's been haunted by the idea of returning to the ring. Is this the spark? Of course, next to Ricardo are Takeshi's guest commentators. Mamoru Takamura, the strongest Japanese boxer in the series, and Eiji Date, who once fought Ricardo himself. Date looking at Ricardo makes perfect sense. He spent most of his boxing career chasing that unreachable title. As for Takamura, if anyone is capable of evaluating Ricardo's strength, it's him. He may be the only man whose judgment the entire world respects. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if even Takamura ends up being impressed by the champion's performance tonight. At the top of the page, there's a header that reads, "Approaching chapter 1500, colored opening pages." That's right, we're almost at a massive milestone in manga history. Speaking of colors, the digital weekly shonen magazine cover was also leaked. This time, it's Ippo, front and center, throwing a punch with fire in his eyes, clearly warming up for what looks like a future showdown. And now I have to ask, is Ippo featured here simply because he's the main character? Because he sells more covers? Or is it because he can no longer be seen as anything other than a boxer? The red text on the left side of his chest says, "Will Sendo's fangs reach the champion Ricardo?" At the bottom, another note, colored pages at the beginning, WBA Featherweight World Title Match, heating up. And here's some good news. it's already been confirmed that there will be a chapter next week too. By the way, this week's colored spread was actually 2 full pages wide, a double-page illustration filled with detail and emotion. And here's something interesting that many fans may not know. The series creator, George Morikawa, has publicly stated on his social media accounts that mangaka are not paid extra for drawing colored pages, whether it's for magazine features or for cover artwork. That means when he creates something as polished and powerful as this, he's doing it for the love of the craft or because he already has a plan for that art. And based on his past habits, it's almost guaranteed that Morikawa will recycle this spread for a future volume cover. He's done it before, multiple times. For example, the colored illustration used for volume 144 and 145 was originally a double-page magazine spread. Same goes for the covers of volumes 137 and 138, and again for volumes 120 and 121. He even did it way back with the iconic combo of volumes 85 and 87. So if you're wondering whether this current colored spread will make its way to the shelves as part of the physical volumes, the answer is almost certainly yes. At least this time, let's be grateful it's been drawn as a clean, elegant 2-page set, because if you remember volume 129, instead of splitting the art between 2 covers like usual, Morikawa just took the entire vertical image and slapped it onto a single volume cover. No adaptation, no framing. It looked a bit awkward, not exactly the most aesthetic choice, but hey, at least he didn't have to draw a brand new piece from scratch. And knowing the insane workload mangaka already have, I honestly don't blame him. That's all for today, everyone. Let me know if you enjoy these kinds of videos, where we take a moment to analyze and talk about special color spreads or unique pages from the manga. It's not something that happens often, so whenever we get the chance, I really enjoy taking a closer look at every little detail. As for this week's chapter itself, we'll just have to wait for the English version to drop. And of course, tomorrow, as always, I'll be back with a full in-depth breakdown of the episode. So don't forget to subscribe if you love Hajime no Ippo and want to stay updated with every piece of news, get unique insights, and catch weekly reviews of the latest chapters. Good night, champ!